Ladies and gentlemen, Invincible Season 2 has now ended, and let me tell you, that finale was... it was pretty good. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be going over the Invincible finale, but unlike last time where I went over only one episode, I'll be going over the last three. Yeah, I know. Let's get into it. So between the first episode's ending and the episode we're starting at, a lot of stuff happened. Mark graduates, goes to college, gets some action if you get what I'm saying. We see Alan again. What's up, Alan? We meet the coalition. Alan gets packed up. Omni-Man's good now. Mark has a brother. What the? Viltumites touchdown. Omni-Man gets arrested. Alan's still alive. Donald's a robot. What the? The Lizard League returns. They pack up most of the Guardians. The Sequids return. And we'll pick up from here. We open up with the continuation of the battle on Earth. With 2 of the 3 Guardians down, Rex is the last one standing. And after he takes down 2 of the 3 Lizard League members remaining, out of the shadows comes King Lizard. And while watching this, I was like, obviously he's not gonna shoot the homie Rex. Obviously my dog Cecil is gonna get some backup for Rex, and then we'll be good. Back to the battle in space, Mark, Eve, and the rest of the Guardians are being overwhelmed by the little brain slave squids and are trying to buy some time for Rudy to finish this device that can stop them. Rudy hits him with a Eureka! Mark grabs it, and after some back and forth with the walking fossil Immortal, they use the device to remove the brain scripts from the astronaut and their buddies. The day is saved once again. Watch the hands, Mark, watch the hands. But when they get back to Earth, them smiles turn into frowns real quick, because they found out the rest of their homies got murked, if not hospitalized, by the weakest team out here. Like really, they make the Green Gang look like the Legion of Doom. And obviously this hit the Immortal's ancient ass the hardest. He hadn't experienced love like this since back in like the Roman Empire days, so I know this had to hurt, and it will definitely come to affect his psyche later on. Good news though, my boy Rex survived, which must sound crazy after we saw him get one pump to the head, but my boy got that 50 Cent gene in him. He's invincible. So what happened was, after he got shot, he pretty much got right back up and started beating the green off King Lizard. And that's what got us here, with a Rex who realizes how bad of a boyfriend he was, and with a new robot hand. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We come back to Mark, who after visiting his little brother and mom, goes to visit... No, she's changed. So Mark and Amber are on this date, and since Mark has been spending even less time with Amber than before, things don't feel the same. To the point where they both go talk to people about the possibility of breaking up. No, don't break up. But there are bigger things to worry about right now, because back at the Guardians hideout, my dog Cecil was trying to give the Immortal pretty much vacation days so he could properly mourn the loss of Kate. But the Immortal is refusing. But right at that moment, their conversation is cut short by the appearance of something coming into Earth's atmosphere. The Immortal immediately rushes out, and time out. Can we talk about how the Earth has an alien problem? Like really, first it's Omni-Man, then it's Martian Man, Intergalactic Mufasa, Shapesmith, and Alan. These dudes be coming in and out of Earth like it's that one girl you know from high school. GDA gonna have to tighten up and start sending space ice on these aliens, cause they out here hurting people, living rent free. Next thing you know, they're gonna be taking our job. The Immortal goes to intercept the threat, which turns out to just be Alan. What's up, Alan? And the Immortal immediately starts attacking him cause, you know, he's mourning, which had me wondering, did he expect it to be Omni-Man or something? Because if it was, what did he think would happen? Like seriously, I'm actually asking, what did he think would happen? Your girlfriend dies a week ago and you think you're gonna get like this depression rage boost or something and somehow win? No, bro, no. Mark steps in and breaks the fight before Immortal gets whooped again, and Alan and Mark head down to Earth, where Mark tells Alan about everything that's happened, and more importantly, the books that his dad told him to read before he got locked up. Free you. Mark read them and found out they're all about things that could defeat Viltrumites. See, I thought Nolan was just trying to do some promo before he got locked up for good. I would do the same thing if I was getting locked up. Son, my vids. Watch my vids, son. Not those though, you can skip those. Alan asks Mark to come back with him to the coalition. Mark declines because he wants to spend some time with his girl. W Mark. So Alan scans the books and dips. And after, instead of cutting to the Guardians of the Globe or something, we cut to Nolan in prison. Good to see you, my boy, good to see you. He's being questioned by General Krieg on how it was possible that a measly 20 years on Earth made him so weak. Clearly, Krieg doesn't know we got Popeyes on Earth. A 5-piece tender combo could bring any mere mortal down to their knees, I'm just saying. Krieg says Earth will pay him, and before episode 6 ends, we see no other than Angstrom Levy, and he has returned to finally get his revenge on Mark. But before things escalate too quickly, we cut back to the Guardians, and they are in shambles. Rex is out here fighting octopi after his near-death experience. Rudy and Monster Girl can't see eye to eye. Black Samson is bald. Shrink Ray is still hospitalized, and the Immortal doesn't think he can lead anymore. At this point, the whole side cast of characters is in shambles. Even Donald and Rick are going through it. Remember when I said last video? Back to my boy, why is he still here? Turns out Donald chose to be a robot, and he's actually died countless of times. So it makes sense that Donald helps Rick stop himself from making a decision he would definitely regret by letting him know, hey dude, I'm a robot too. I feel your robotic pain. And that probably wouldn't work. You're almost entirely made out of metal. We come back to Mark, who's talking to his mom about his relationship with Amber and her previous relationship with Nolan. And you can tell Mark really wants to make it work for them. And he does that exactly. He meets with Amber and tells her tonight is all about them. He's requested 2 days off per week from Cecil, so he pretty much unlocked the weekend. Amber is not so sure if that's ethical. Oh, now it don't feel ethical, okay. But they go ahead and do it anyways. And we get this nice little montage of them going out, flying over the water, flying over the city. I'm not crying, you are! They end the night off eating at a restaurant. What is that, Italian? And you know, they're talking about how they can get Mark's grades up and how much they love each other and stuff when
Mark Grayson.
A female viltumite stands behind Amber and threatens her life unless Mark meets her in the sky. Meet him in the sky? What's she trying to get into right now? Mark obviously agrees, unless... No, he agrees. The female viltumite flies off to wait for Mark. Amber breaks down in tears, and Mark immediately rushes to his dorm to change and contact Cecil. Mark meets the viltumite lady in the sky. Her name is Anissa, and she apologizes to Mark, telling him she doesn't wish to fight. So... what you really trying to do? She gives Mark a speech similar to the one his dad gave him, saying humans are killing each other and the viltumite empire can help and blah blah blah. I know some of y'all in the comments would have immediately flipped sides after meeting Anissa. Don't hide, don't try to hide in the comments now. I know how y'all get. Cecil tries to get back up from Mark before any of this escalates, but fails to do so. Mark hits her with the "don't give a shit about Viltrum," but she assures him that the viltrumites killing humans will not benefit them in any way. And right then and there, she gets a perfect opportunity to prove it when Cecil interrupts her conversation by saying there's a freaking kaiju attacking a cruise. Yo, living in this world must suck. You can't even go on a damn cruise without Cthulhu spawning in. Mark and Anissa arrive on the scene. Mark tells her to stand back. Hey, why are you looking at my boy Mark like that? And I can't lie, Mark was not doing enough. To the point where Anissa had to step in and one-tap the kaiju to truly show how big the gap between them is. And the true scale of that gap is shown to us when Anissa again tries to convince Mark that the Viltrumite Empire is good. And Mark again says no. This lady's a bit too persistent. You gotta chill out. But at this point, Anissa was done talking. She has other means of persuading Mark. What is that supposed to mean? Anissa rushes Mark, shattering his goggles immediately. And without giving him a second chance to breathe, she slams him into the water. I know Aquaman is geeked right now. Stuff is finally happening in the ocean. Mark tries to get some hits in, and he does, but it doesn't matter. Anissa decks him back onto the beach. Cecil tells Mark to just tell Anissa he'll join her just so she can leave, but Mark refuses. And Anissa didn't take too kindly to that at all. Anissa gives Mark one last chance. What the? With her boot on his neck? My bad, dominatrix. Don't search that up. Mark still refuses to join them and tells her to just do it. And when it's looking like Mark's life is about to fade away, Anissa stops, but not for any good reasons. She tells Mark that another Viltrumite will come, and if he sees that Mark hasn't done his homework, he will pull out the belt. Anissa leaves. Cecil tells Mark that weekend he unlocked will have to be revoked, which Mark obviously understands. Then we cut back to Amber in her dorm, who is obviously traumatized after Anissa threatened to pop her like a balloon. Her and Mark have a chat about how she's not really built like him. Wait, what's happening? She then says she has no right to feel upset when he's out saving people for obvious reasons, but also she's a human being who wants to spend time with the person she's with. Wait. Don't tell me. She then says, worst of all, they can use her as a weapon against him, just like they did today. No way. She tells Mark she wants to live in his world, but she just can't. And that she doesn't know how their relationship is gonna work.
I'm sorry.
Me too.
Okay. I would be lying if I told y'all a part of me wasn't sad when I watched this scene, because I was very sad about it actually. Amber had developed into this understanding girlfriend who loved Mark, cared for him, and didn't complain when he had to go off on a mission. So that one part of me was very, very sad. But that other part of me is overwhelmingly happy. Man, I've been waiting for this since season 1, bruh. Season 1. Look, Amber was a great girlfriend season 2, but there needed to be some form of compensation for that monstrosity in season 1. I'm sorry, I'm not forgiving her for that. Who we think Mark gonna get with next? I'm guessing Eve or one of those bug chicks from Thraxa. When I watched this, I thought to myself, what could they even do to top this? This has to be the peak. But no, the season gets even cooler. Cut the space where we see General Krieg and Anissa talking about Mark. Can't seem to get him off your mind, can you? Where we see they get an alert on their radar this time, and it's the homie Alan flying home. What's up, Alan? Anissa attacks him, but unlike what happened in episode 3, Alan can actually take a punch now and dish him out too. He realizes how much stronger he's gotten to the point where Anissa can't even touch him. But when he hears the mention of a viltumite prison, he gets an idea. He lets Anissa knock him out, which for someone who's lived thousands of years, I'm surprised she can't tell when she didn't knock somebody out and when she did, but whatever. So he could get into the prison. There's still some hope to save Nolan. But back on Earth, things aren't so positive. We see Mark is sad because of the breakup, rightfully so. This is homeboy's first heartbreak. I feel him. I feel him. So when he sees his mom is calling, he's probably ready to tell her all about it. But the person who answers the phone is not his mom at all.
Hello, Mark.
It's Angstrom Levy, who's holding Mark's mom and little brother hostage. Mark rushes home to find Angstrom holding his mom by her head. He starts yapping about other dimensions, and Mark tells him, I don't even know who you are. And Angstrom does not take it too lightly that he forgot who he was. And Mark, in a fit of rage, tries to attack Angstrom but gets sent to another dimension instead. To be specific, one where dinosaurs run the world. I guess that's supposed to be dangerous to someone who's practically Superman? What the? Angstrom eventually brings Mark back, only to send him into another dimension where he sees Spider-Man. No, it's just Arachnid Man. Angstrom eventually brings back Mark once again, but instead of Mark rushing him, he just wants to talk. He reminds Angstrom that the accident that turned him into this was caused by him trying to save Mark. But Angstrom refuses to believe him and throws him into another dimension. Literally just the thought of helping Mark floods Angstrom's mind with memories from his other lives. Memories of Mark destroying cities, murking innocents, murking his wife, murking his son. This makes Angstrom start tweaking and he opens up a portal to bring back Mark again. But he ain't know my son Mark just finished solo queuing, because when Mark comes out that portal, he hits Angstrom with a sniper rifle from Fortnite. What the? Mark tells Angstrom he's not going through any dang portals anymore, but Angstrom finds a way to send him back into one anyway. At this point, Debbie was sick of letting this dude just spam portals like his name was Noob Saibot or something. So she starts fighting back. It doesn't go well though. And while Angstrom starts yapping again about evil Marks, like, bro, we get it, they're evil, bro. Debbie tells him straight up, he's just salty because Mark is good in this dimension and he's the evil one. Angstrom did not like this at all. He slams Debbie, and as he's telling her the phrase, I am not the villain, he snaps her arm. Bro. He's stupid. Not only is this backwards logic, but he just... I just can't wait till Mark gets home. Back to Mark, who's been getting put through dimension, and he's starting to worry about how much time has passed or his family is even okay. Hey bro, at least you met Batman's cape. At this point, Mark was drained until he sees another portal open. But this time, he just waits and waits and waits until... As Mark has Angstrom pinned to the wall, he looks over to his left and all he sees is his mom has been badly hurt. Mark drags Angstrom through the pavement, but Angstrom informs him that he had gotten his body upgraded, so this won't be an easy fight. They end up fighting through multiple dimensions and it wasn't looking good for Mark. I mean, even these two dudes weren't safe. Their fight ends up taking them to this wasteland dimension where it's looking like Mark is about to lose. Fight! He grabs Angstrom's face and decks him. And Angstrom, not gonna lie, he ate that punch. Probably could have put up a good fight too. But he had to go and mention Mark's family. Mark gets filled with rage and starts punching Angstrom around in the sky. Bro hit him with the anissa. And when they get on the ground, Mark just straight up starts pummeling him. Like he was not stopping, moving his hand aside and everything. Mark, I think he learned his lesson. This scene is so messed up. Mark gets up and realizes he's killed Angstrom, which if you don't know, Mark's whole thing is that he kind of doesn't do that, so. I don't know what his perspective looks like, but considering the splash on that last hit and the fact that he's sure he killed him, I'm pretty sure all that was left of Angstrom was like his goatee or something. Mark starts having a mini breakdown telling himself, I thought you were stronger. I killed that impression, didn't I? He tries to convince himself that he had to do it, which he kind of did. I'm on his side. And he realizes that with Angstrom gone, he can't leave the dimension. And he wants to start laughing to himself like he's going crazy. Chill out, dude. It's been like 5 minutes. Get a grip. Back on Earth, we see Cecil get some help for Debbie and Oliver. Thank goodness. I don't know what I'd do if they killed Debbie. I'm glad she's okay. But while this crazy stuff is happening on Earth, we cut to space where we see some even crazier stuff happening. Nolan has been officially told he is going to be executed. That's no bueno. And I know I should have noticed this earlier, but every viltrumite really has this Steve Harvey mustache. Not a single viltrumite thought about switching it up. What's going on? But there is still hope, because while being walked back to his cell, Nolan sees Alan, who is finally in the prison after the little stunt he pulled in episode 7. Alan tells Nolan he's here for him, to save him. Yeah, yes. It seems things are going as planned. Back in the other dimension though, Mark is still stranded and still tripping over the fact that he murked Angstrom. Man, if you don't Mark starts thinking that maybe Angstrom's body has something on it that he could get back home with. And if he just returned to it, coming out of a portal is the Guardians of the Globe. Ugh, but they look old now. They must be on that Ozempic. Turns out they are the Guardians of the Globe that we know and tolerate, but they're from a future where Mark just never found a way home after the fight with Angstrom. So pretty much what was supposed to happen. And a lot of bad stuff happened on the Earth without Mark being there to protect them. Thankfully, the Guardians invented a device that could prevent that from happening to our Mark. Aw, that's nice. Mark thanks them, but before he could leave, future Eve runs up to Mark and confesses that she always loved him. What is going on this season? And since in her dimension, she was never able to get a response from Mark, she was never able to move on for him. Whoever that Thraxa chick is, she gonna have to step her game up because Eve is leading the races. After Mark leaves, we see Rex tell Eve that might have disrupted the time stream. What the? Did bro get smarter out of nowhere? And why is he in a robot suit? Alright, whatever. Back on Earth, we check in with our Guardians while all this was happening. And we see Rudy and Monster Girl are back on good terms. Talk about the power of a PB&J, am I right? No. We also see the Immortal going back home to his cabin, where when he gets inside, he sees Kate? Turns out she's alive because she left an extra copy of herself. That's smart and all, but blah, 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 blah. Honestly, the craziest part about the scene wasn't Kate being revived. It was Immortal's ancient relics, because first of all, he has the Holy Grail, and second of all, it's implied that he's Abraham freaking Lincoln. He freed the slaves. This man was out here doing every side quest imaginable for all those years. What's next? You gonna tell me that he was MLK too? Oh. We come back to Mark, who after visiting his mom and Cecil telling him,
"You're not him,"
starts letting all his frustrations out while flying. The idea of becoming just like his dad, the impending viltrumite threat. I feel him. I used to get like this when I didn't know what was going on in geometry. We see Mark almost visit Amber, but you know the rules. Do not talk to your ex fresh off a breakup. I repeat, do not talk to your ex fresh off a breakup. They do that little thing in movies where somehow the person sensed the other person was watching them even though they didn't see them. I hate scenes like this so much. Mark goes back home with his mom and has a talk with her on the roof about controlling his anger, becoming a better hero, and how college isn't for him. You know, I tried this exact same talk back in 2020 with my mom, and let me tell you, it did not end with an I understand. Mark also meets with Eve, who tells Mark she'll always have a shoulder he could cry on. Oh snap. And I can't lie, I almost broke my laptop when I saw Mark wussed out of telling Eve how he feels. And some of y'all might think, well, how are you so sure he even likes her? The real one saw the hand earlier, I ain't gotta say too much. This was practically a wide open layup for Mark, but it's a sensitive time, so I'm gonna let him rock. Plus, the seed is already planted. Thraxa girl, come on now. You're gonna have to step up your game. I know your lifespan is short, but work for that PS5. Get him a PS5. Just before the episode ends, we see Alan and Nolan in prison again, talking about the coalition and Nolan's execution. And while Nolan is reflecting on his bad decisions, he has a realization. He misses his wife. Boom, and then the season ends. Who said Debbie was a pet? Who? This season had a lot of boring moments, but a lot more dope moments. And if it wasn't for that stupid mid-season break, I probably would have loved it even more. Overall though, this season gets a cool 8 out of 10. Still good, but it could have been better in my opinion. Comment down below what y'all thought about this season, and comic readers, please title your comments with spoilers ahead. There's no reason I should know that. And moral of the story? Yo, who the frick keep calling me? Hello?
Now I need a break. Try to run away, try to get away. So it could be